Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us. And I'm Dr. Seema Shah, founder of Harmonious Way to Health, a dentist, health coach, nutritionist, author, speaker, and yoga instructor. And I'm also your elite Mrs. Earth Northern Europe. And today we're joined by the lovely Lucie, who is very local to me. And it is said that charity begins from home. And Lucie is a living, breathing example of that, who does so much from the local community to impact many, many lives, individuals, families, the community, and society as a whole. In fact, her impact is global as well through everything that she does. She is very inspiring. And Lucie, it's really an honor to have you with us today. Can I kindly ask you to introduce yourself and mention a little bit about what you do?
Thank you. It's lovely to be here, and I feel quite embarrassed by all of you saying all of that. I just do everything from my heart, and what I do is through New Forest Aquaponics, which is our CIC, our non-profit community interest company, where everything we do comes back to the community. We run various projects, one of which, and the biggest, is the Waterside Food Project.
That's amazing, Lucie. So I'd love to know more about your food project. I know that you've saved so many families in terms of like the nutrition and affordable food locally. Where are you based? Let's start with that.
So we're based in the New Forest and on the Waterside area of that. And we have our community pantry, which is in Blackfield. So kind of quite south. And it's an area that has quite a few pockets of deprivation. It's a mixed community. So we have all sorts of people here. And it means that the deprivation doesn't necessarily get seen. It's quite hidden. And it could be your next door neighbor. So we're here to help build our community, strengthen it. And the way we do that is through food.
That's amazing, Lucy. And your food pantry, I visited that. It's amazing how you run that. Tell us more about how you run that in terms of fresh produce and other consumables that you do there and how it impacts the local community.
So the pantry is run on a membership basis. We charge £10 a year membership, and that helps to support the building. So that's everybody giving us a place, the community a place to work from and meet from. Um, to shop, it's £7.50 for up to 15 items, and the clue is in the up to. So we ask people, if you can afford to shop wherever you like, but you want to support us, come in, pay your membership, pay your £7.50, and maybe only take two or three items. And then that gives us more income to be able to put food on the shelves for everybody else to, those who actually need it to be able to come. And one of our key words is dignity. So dignity is about everybody shopping and nobody knowing whether you need to be able to access affordable food or whether you're there as a supporter. If everybody's just mixed in together, it creates dignity for all. Um, the pantry has two outside shelves, which are for your kind of like your ambient goods, your packets, your pastas, your tins, that type of thing. And we always try and make sure there's a few sweet treats on there as well. And then the other side is your household goods and personal hygiene, so your toothpastes and your toothbrushes and various other household items and dog food and that type of thing. And then the middle is the bread, fruit, and veg, and those are free to everybody. And it's mainly that comes through our supermarket food collections. The stuff on the outside shelves we mainly purchase in. Um, so it's combining both sources of food, and we also have a fridge and a freezer, which gives people access to a wide range of foods. Um, yeah.
That's amazing. And you say the pantry, the middle part, the fresh produce is collected. How many collections and where do you do the food collections from?
So the collections are across all the different supermarket um, companies, and we do this with a team of drivers who go out. So there's at least two people out every night. We have a town route and a local route. So the town route is going further afield into Southampton, and reaching other some of the bigger stores. Um, and we do about 70 collections each week, which is quite a logistic task. But our drivers are fabulous and they are really dedicated to what they do. Some of them have been doing this sort of 3 or 4 years, and are still there every week doing their slot, and it's lovely.
That's amazing. So it's an average of 10 supermarket trips per day, 70 per week. And that's saving a lot of food, which would otherwise go to waste, supporting the local community in an affordable way. Tell us more about how you educate people on using the food and what do they do if the food is beyond usable. For example, if it's going off or it's the peels or like the end bits or things we can't use. So what happens to those aspects of the food chain?
Yeah, so we do try and educate people a lot with how to use up food, how to not waste their food. Lots of people have been spent too long listening to marketing from the supermarkets as to whether something is good or bad. And it's you can chop the end off, you can, and the rest of the piece of veg is fine. How to freeze things, all sorts of different methods to actually make the food go longer and further and feed more people. But there are times when there is food left over. So with the collection, that looks like the use by foods that we can't hand out the next day. So for things like the cold slaws and last night, for example, we had cooked potatoes or potatoes for cooking in plastic bags with garlic butter, things like that. So we can't hand those out the next day because legally we can't. We do have a what we call our use by box, which gives people the opportunity to take this at night. So we fill that up with anything that isn't freezable and is a use by. That lives on the end of our driveway where we live, and people can come and access that and take away the food. And that means that leaves us with very little that we can't, in theory, we can't do anything with. So our solution is to compost it, and we use a method of hot composting, and we are use that as an educational tool, but also produce living compost, which has all the bugs and the bacteria and the fungi that are needed for good food production. And then we use that to then grow more food, not just through the aquaponics farm, but through our whole little Holbury orchard, which is a demonstration plot for growing food in your garden. And we also have a garden we're developing here at Lucie's place, which is the building that houses the pantry.
That's great. So you already have a compost that I know you built, but I know you got an exciting project coming through. Tell us more about that in terms of composting.
Yes, so we at the moment we've been doing all the hot composting over at the aquaponics farm, but actually it would make far more sense if we were able to do it here at Lucy's place, where the bulk of the people come, where we can do more education on the process and the why it's really important to compost. So we have a fundraiser for to help us purchase a ride-on composter, which are a big machine which will sit. It's a hand turn machine. It means everyone can come and help us make the compost and turn the handle and see the resulting pre-compost that comes out the other end. And that will help educate more people, help us deal with more food waste. And yeah, so we have a crowdfunder running, which hopefully will help us purchase this fairly soon, and extend our work with the composting.
That's amazing, Lucy. That is so exciting, and I can't wait when I next come to you when you got that to have my hands and have a go at that. Because when community get involved, all the way from children to adults, we appreciate, how we can give back to our planet, Mother Earth, and how we can nurture and nourish just as much as she nurtures us. And
Exactly.
I know it's not just about food, you do very many other endeavors. When I came to visit you, there was something that you called sustainable material for construction, eco brick, I believe. Could you
That's
tell
right.
us more about that?
Yeah, so I am actually part of the core team of the Global EcoBrick Alliance, and we help advise and support communities around the world who are using EcoBricks. It's not huge here in the UK, because I feel EcoBricks here are an education tool. So this is an EcoBrick. You see it has its number on the front, which means that this is traceable through our GoBrick system. The number is the amount of plastic in there. So that this is half a kilo, 524 grams of plastic. That's equivalent to about 2 bin bags full of plastic that's been sequestered into this bottle. And you can build with these. There is one building in Wales that has been built with eco bricks and cob, and we would like to be able to build another one here, so that more people can actually see how these can be used, and then hopefully support people around the world to actually do that, and clean up their local environment by utilizing eco bricks. So, but on the education side, the most important thing that these do here in the UK is to educate people on the problem with plastic, where plastic has come from, and what we need to do about it. And in the very first instance, the really easy answer is we have to stop consuming. And then that eases our pockets as well if we're not constantly buying stuff.
That's so true, yes. And I know you're very much into natural building materials, for example, insulation, flooring. Could you tell us more about that?
So this building that we're in, used to be, well, it was built in 1933 as a butcher's shop, and it was a butcher's shop for quite a long time, and then it became a hardware store. And this back part was built quite badly, and we've needed to refurbish it. And it's newly decorated, and Culture in Common, who are a arts funded program here in the New Forest to help people engage with arts and culture. They helped us with the funding to actually decorate this, and they brought in a designer to come up with this fabulous design, which makes my heart sing every day that I come here. But it's all reclaimed natural, as far as possible. The desk I'm using is made of pallets. We have reused apple crates on the wall. It's just as much as possible was reclaimed, and we're about to do the floor, which again, the builders that we're working with for that have completely embraced our principles and are building a floor that can be reused. We'll be able to take it up when we finish here, or which hopefully we won't need to ever do, but it's being designed with the process and principles of reuse, so it will be easily taken up. It's all as much as possible being done with reclaimed materials, and should help insulate the building, which also will keep it warmer, which then reduces our bills for heating. So it's a win-win in every circumstance when you put the earth at the forefront of your thought process, because the earth always does things for the benefit of all, and so that's what we're just trying to follow.
That's amazing, Lucy. And it's amazing how, if we creative, we can repurpose, reuse, and make the most of what we already have at our disposal rather than buying new things. And I totally agree. When you said about the eco bricks and the amount of plastic contained within that, rather than leaching into the land and then into the water and the effects that it causes. It's amazing, the concept and how it's traceable. Of course, we know plastics are not readily biodegradable, especially the ones you got in the eco brick. They last for hundreds of years. So the fact that they're contained and used and they can be repurposed, for example, if the structure goes down, those can be reused to make another structure. That is amazing to know. And Lucie, one thing we're both passionate about is when it comes to recycling, repurposing, and upcycling fabric, clothes, things like
Yeah.
that. So today I want something which has been pre-loved that I bought. So it's bought secondhand. My jewelry, my earrings are passed down from my sisters. So again, I'm really much into what can I repurpose and reuse. And I know you do that in clever ways at Lucie's place and with the projects that you do. So could you tell us more about that?
Yep. So one of the projects we do is our boomerang bag project. This was one that was made this week, and it is made out of two. In fact, I think the outer is a curtain and the inner is an old sheet, and they have been made into a shopping bag. Now we hand these out through the pantry, and when we have enough, we will hand them to other organisations as well to use. And the idea is that the more fabric bags that are in the community for people to use and reuse, the less reliant they will be on plastic bags. And we have made, the number here says 3,210. And we've made because we share those numberings with another group, but we've actually managed to make about 2,000 of them. So yeah, but quite proud of that one. And it's a lot of fabric that's been saved from landfill. And then the other project, which is one that actually supports our work, and is a really important part because this building is very expensive to run. We have huge amounts of bills. Obviously, we buy food in, etc. And these are Genius cloths, Genius cleaning cloths. And I've been making these for quite some time. But now we have a team of volunteers, and it's really coming to the vision I had with these, where our community is making them to sell, to support them. It's self-supporting. So our community members, in fact, one of our pantry members has been doing a lot of sewing on them, and she uses the pantry every week. So it's a really lovely thing. So they're made from old t-shirts and old towels, and we take the ones that are too stained. They're all 100% cotton. We take the ones that are stained and marked that people aren't going to want to wear, and we turn them into cleaning cloths. These can be used for cleaning anything, and that's where they got the name. I couldn't think of what to call them, and my friend was like, but you use them for anything, it's just genius. And it stuck. And you could literally, if there's anything you need a cloth to use, so in our kitchen, you will find them for the washing up, you will find them for the drying up, you will find them as a pan holder for taking stuff out the oven, you will find them for general cleaning, you will find them different ones for the floor. It just, you can just use them for anything. My partner uses them to clean his motorbike. My son uses them when he's upcycling computers and things like that for some of the delicate cleaning. And when you finish with them, you can put them in the compost. And the only thing you will get out is sometimes you will get some of the thread left. And the reason for that is we use secondhand not upcycle, but reclaimed cones of thread, which have come from closed down factories or where people have given up using overlockers and things. And I can't always guarantee that it's cotton thread because the labels come off. But the thread comes out as one piece. So it's okay. You will reclaim it from your compost bin. And I don't think there is anything else that quite fits the bill that is community made to support the community out of upcycled, recycled materials that you can then compost.
That's amazing. So where things once they beyond wear, stained, torn, repurposed into these genius clothes, used for a long time until they're no longer usable, then composted, and then basically it's just giving back to the earth.
Mhm.
Amazing. So you just talked about how people come together to help make those bags and also the genius clothes, as well as the drivers you mentioned before for the food collection. And at Lucy's place, you have volunteers who help run the place, as well as, a lot of people in the background doing things.
Yeah.
Tell us, if people wanted to help out, either when it comes to volunteering, either front shop, do something in the background, how can they get involved with that?
So one of the best ways is actually just walking through the front door. Come and talk to us. Come and tell us what your skills are and what you would like to bring to the community. There is a contact details on the website as well. But I will always then say, come and talk to us. And the thing that I find helps people volunteer and get the most out of it is to ask them what will make your heart sing, what is the bit that you want to bring to this, and then they find the thing that works for them. We have a big bank of volunteers. We would love more. We would love for everyone to get involved with as much as they can. And if you can't get involved physically, help support us. Even a few pennies here and there actually go to keep the whole thing working and everything running. Or buy some genius cloths.
That's amazing. And we'll put the link to Lucy's website, the Genius Clothes, her crowdfunding
Yeah.
for the composter, as well as the eco bricks. So look out for the description and her links there. And Lucy, you have a volunteer here. When I came to visit you a few months ago, I mentioned how my skills with coaching, nutrition, and my clinical background could help with the community kitchen, which is another thing that you're really passionate about. How to educate people to have nutritious meals, try new produce that they might not have tried before, and be creative with their cooking right from scratch rather than using the canned, the tinned, the plastic covered produce, because all that adds to the pollution and to our landfills as well. So, how do we go right to basics from natural produce and help people cultivate healthier, happier, sustainable habits in the long term? So, I look forward to working with you, as well as being a volunteer on a regular basis for educating the local community for healthier, happier habits. But is there anything else you'd like to add, Lucy, to what we've talked about?
Oh, just if we all work together, and it's trying times out there, and if we can all work together and follow the Earth's example, the Earth always creates abundance and looks after everybody. And if we look after it, it will look after us even more. And that's how we will survive and help the planet grow and recover and yeah, just and be kind.
It's so true. Nature nurtures, and nature teaches us so much. But thank you so much, Lucy. And we've learned so many skills, all the way from the food that nourishes us, how we can live in harmony with our surroundings, from using sustainable products, in our homes, what we wear can be sustainable, and how to recycle when we can't use those things anymore, into ways like the eco bricks you mentioned, into this genius clothes. So I'm really inspired. And please drop us some comments, some love, some follows. And yes, follow our work, Lucy's work, the Waterside Food Project, and my work with Harmonious Way to Health. But thank you, everyone, for joining us today.